Nigerian. At the age of in his 30s, he audaciously went into entrepreneurship, acquired a bank, built Standard Trust Bank, subsequently purchased UBA, which has become an institution that Nigerians and Africans are proud of. If you know there's a UBA in your country, please give him a round of applause. What he's saying to us today is, I have done it, I am doing it, and I expect you to do the same. The panel today will be focusing around the idea, bringing ideas into a profitable business. But before I go into the panel discussions and my friends on stage, I would like to talk a little bit about my own journey as a young entrepreneur, 19 years ago, taking an idea into a business, building a hobby into an entire industry that didn't exist previously in Nigeria. I will start by talking about 19 years ago, I had one idea. And at the time, it looked like it was a joke. How do you charge people to put makeup on their faces and charge them on their wedding days? It didn't make sense. They didn't understand why it was possible. But I had faith in that idea. I charged for it. I got my first payment for it. But I started with a seed capital of $100. But today, those that laughed and thought it was ridiculous now recognize House of Tara as a Nigerian, truly national brand. With the staff strength of over 200 employees, the company has been valued at over $10 million. House of Tara has interest in the retail space, where we provide makeup services and products. And these services and products are things that we share through our retail stores across the country. And we have branches in all the major cities, from Lagos to Abuja, from Kaduna to Kano, to Ilorin, to Port Harcourt, to Uyo, to Asaba, to Ibadan. Many of the stores are owned, and many of them are still franchised. We also have a wholesale distribution business. And through our wholesale distribution business, we are very proud to be able to say we have a network of over 10,000 young women who are micro-entrepreneurs trading and marketing our products across the country. We can proudly say that we're in education and we're educating makeup artists either for the industry or to become their own business owners. So House of Tara can proudly say that we have 19 centers across the country where we're training makeup artists who can then go into the beauty space, either work as skilled workforce for other brands like MAC, L'Oreal, and the likes of it, or start up their own businesses because we gave them a platform. So what are some of House of Tara's milestones? One of them is that we are the pioneer makeup company in Nigeria. We started the entire industry. Today, many of the international brands in the last 3 years have walked into this space simply because of the work that House of Tara has done. We organized the largest makeup conference in the history of Africa, having 800 makeup artists in one day under one roof. We had representatives from Kenya and from Ghana. House of Tara has been written. A case study has been written about House of Tara at the Stanford University. Yes. And it is the only African beauty company that a case study has been written about in Stanford University. In 2014, L'Oreal, which is the largest beauty company in the world, came to House of Tara and asked us to distribute Maybelline products across the country. With all these milestones and successes, we've also had some incredible challenges. One of them is the counterfeiting of our products. When your products are counterfeited, it's the worst thing that can happen to any entrepreneur, because you've spent your life in building a brand, and then somebody else wakes up one day, creates a mimic product. Not only creates a mimic product, calls it your name, sells it, makes it look as similar as it can be. I went into a Chinese market, and somebody asked me when they heard my accent if I wanted Tara products. I knew they were not my products. I knew they were not real. But you can imagine how that shattered my life. But I woke up one day and decided that I cannot allow counterfeiters to destroy my dream and my vision. And as fast as they counterfeit is as fast as I will produce new products. So I hope that at the end of today, you guys are inspired by the stories of my other panelists today. Thank you. So I'll start with my dear friend to my right. And my dear friend, we call her the First Lady. For those of you who have watched her movies. But this is someone who, okay, I should allow everyone to introduce themselves, actually. So they can introduce themselves the way they want to be introduced. So I'll start with our banker friend, Mr. Peter Ashade.
Good evening, all. I'm indeed very delighted to be here today. I'm Peter Ashade by name, the CEO, Africa Prudential PLC. African Prudential PLC started out as an investment relations services organization some couple of over 4 decades ago. But just 10 years down the line, when we took over the company to reorganize how the operation had to be run. Fine, an investment banker. But down the line, 10 years down the line, we have transformed the investor relation business in Nigeria, now moving into innovative solution providing and business support solution. So we are not just, from an investor relations services that we started up, and what we just tried to do was to look at, find an investor relation company, we deal in the capital market activity. Over time, we now grow up into solution, provider and business support services, which you're going to get to know more about. So for us, we have changed the structure of our business. We have disrupted the environment where we find ourselves, and we're moving to another environment. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's always an honor and a privilege to be amongst fellow entrepreneurs like you. This is my second time at the Tony Elumelu Foundation Forum. Last year was amazing. This year seems like it's more amazing than last year. So my name is Omoni Oboli. I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker, producer, director, writer, jack of all trades, I guess. So, well, are we talking about our journeys yet, or we're just introducing ourselves? Okay. All right, so I started off as an actor. For some of you who know my story, some of you don't. I started acting as a teenager, my first year in university. I did it for a year plus, but then it became a problem because it was clashing with school. It was either school or acting. And I decided to finish my education because my mom was a single parent and she had put so much into it. It was very fashionable to drop out at the time. Almost all actors were dropping out, but I decided my mom was going to be unhappy if I did. So I went back to finish school and I forgot all about acting. I would have picked it up, but then I got married right after university, left the country for a while. But the whole time I was away, I kept watching movies and seeing people that I started with and how far they had gone, and I just was so unhappy. But to cut a long story short, we came back to the country, and 10 years after I left the industry, I decided to come back. Of course, you don't leave anything for 10 years, and you think you're just going to pick up from where you left off. So it was a huge struggle, to try to get back into the industry. All the leading females were established. Nobody wanted to give room to a new girl, because everyone saw me as the new girl. And, it was hard. But then I started writing scripts again. And I started writing because I wanted to trade that for acting. So I would give a script to a producer and say, you know what? Don't pay me for the script. Just give me a role. And 1 or 2 producers did that, and that was how I started to get roles again. And somehow along the line, I decided I was going to direct my own films because I didn't like how my scripts were being treated by other directors. Because I was saying, I don't know if I was saying to you, like, I was saying to Paminda actually, no 2 directors would direct any one script the same way. So when I write in pictures. I see what I'm writing. But then when another director takes that story and makes it their own, it's totally different. That's why they say film by the director, not by the producer, not by the actor, because it's the director's point of view. So I wasn't quite comfortable or happy with the point of view of the directors who were taking my script. Not that they were not good movies, they were, but that was not my vision. So I thought to myself, if my stories or my scripts are going to have my DNA, I'm going to have to direct them myself. Now, how does a rookie director get a directing job? So no one's going to just throw their money at you because you've not done anything before. So, you know, it was a huge struggle to try to direct my first film. And I knocked on so many doors, got so many no's, kept trying and trying and trying. And it took me 4 years to actually make my first film when I decided I was going to make a film after going to film school to study digital filmmaking. It took me 4 years to make my first film. But all through that journey, I wasn't discouraged. I refused to just take no and move. There were some people that eventually gave me money that had said no to me 4 years before. You know, so that's just a little bit about my journey so far. I'm sure we'll get more into it as we go on.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And I just so love that story. And as you told it, I kept wondering, she looks like she's 2 years out of school. So that must be what Nollywood does to you. But anyway, my name is Funke Opeke. As I was introduced, an engineer by training, and founder and CEO of Main One. Now, who is Main One and what does Main One do? Main One is a broadband infrastructure services company, which is how we like to present ourselves today. When we started and launched the business 7 years ago, we were a submarine cable company. And the idea, when I founded the company in 2007, was to build a submarine cable to bridge the divide in West Africa with regards to access to the internet and the cost of internet services. So we launched the business with an initial capital raise of $3.2 million in April of 2008. And I went on to raise $240 million over the next 18 months, with which we put the cable into service, 7,000 kilometers of it, running in the Atlantic Ocean from Lagos. Okay. Is this better? Yeah, okay. There's a little bit of an echo here, so I don't know if the mic people want to treat that, but I'll continue with this. So started from 3.2 million. Did you hear that part? Okay, all right. So raised 3.2 million from friends and family, April 2008, and went on to raise $240 million, which is, as a greenfield company, which is what we required to build this 7,000 kilometers of submarine cable running from Lagos all the way to Portugal to bridge the digital divide and bring better access to the internet. So that's a real fabulous story, and I always said, you know, once this cable is in service, we have no internet here. We landed in Nigeria, Ghana, day one. Everyone is just going to suck up our services. I'm not going to have to run around, and my struggles, which were intense, raising capital, would be over. We put the cable into service, and of course, we're a wholesale provider, business to business, so all the major operators, ISPs, they got a little bit of capacity on our cable. I mean, but this is really a lot of infrastructure, and from my experience in the United States, where I had spent most of my professional career, internet, when it starts taking off, doubles every month, the traffic volumes, because the adoption rate is just so high. But the reality is we didn't have the distribution infrastructure in our networks. So even though we had so much capacity, and we still have so much capacity available on our trunk, distribution, even until this day, remains a limitation in terms of how much capacity we're able to push into the market. The good news is, looking back 7 years, we know for a fact that we have changed the landscape with regards to internet services in West Africa. And I do hope that the internet services that you're enjoying at this facility today are a reflection of what we're able to deliver. But that is still not enough, because there's still a lot more potential, and I'm sure back in various schools, community, different other parts of Nigeria, and even other parts of West Africa where we focused, the services are not of the quality or available at the price that we would want them to be. So that remains a work in progress that we're very committed to continuing to build out infrastructure. But in addition, we realize that African content and African information with the emerging global economy is not being hosted in Africa. And so we set out to build a data center, and we have a tier 3 data center, which says essentially it has to be up all the time to host data here, not just for indigenous companies, but for global companies that want to participate in our market as well. And I am glad to say that we're starting to attract some of those global content providers who are coming into the data center so that they can start distributing content from here. They can start creating localized content for our market, and thereby we'll continue to enable the broadband or the digital economy in West Africa.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So you can hear me? Great. Who's heard of Iroko TV? Quick hands up. Quick hands up, hands up. Okay, great. Who's heard of Rock? Rock? Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. Who has an Iroko TV subscription? See, that's my problem. You people have heard of it, but you don't want to buy. We love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, that's basically my problem. I've been toiling away since 2010. I came back to Nigeria, begging, cajoling, doing everything I can to seduce you to watch and pay for Iroko TV, and yet you still don't want to. So my name is Jason Njoku. As I said, I've been toiling for the last 7 years trying to figure out how to get people who genuinely love Nollywood content to pay for it. As you can see, I was obviously born and bred in the UK, but I think I'm Nigerian. People choose not to claim me or not to claim me, it's fine, but I'm Nigerian. So for us, it's really simple. If you look at the history of the internet, video is probably one of the last things that people do on the internet. It's definitely one of the most data and expensive things you can do on the internet legally. So we know we're still very much too early for the market. So what we've essentially been doing for the last 7 years is trying to figure out how do we become a more important part in Nollywood. When we first came, we basically bought every movie we could from whoever would sell to us. Being Nigerians, no one particularly liked that for a period of time, so they stopped selling us content. Thankfully, I have a wife who knows the industry and decides, or at least knows how to produce content. So now I basically work for my wife. She produces all of the content, and then I figure out how to pay for it. You laugh, but it's actually true. So today, like about 85% of the content that's on Iroko TV, my wife's studio basically produces that. I think in terms of people who would definitely be up here inspiring you, I think she'd probably be a better person than I would. So she's a big fan of new talent. She's a big believer in Nigeria. Me, I've been trying to leave Nigeria because it's just frustrating for the longest time, but my wife has said that we must be here, so I'm here. But I guess what she has taught me is that, if you believe in Nigeria and you have a long-term view, then I think everything over time will work out. And so I think it's great that obviously there are so many young people here who still believe in Nigeria. There's those of our brothers and sisters who are crossing the Sahara Desert trying to leave. So I think whilst we're here, we need to obviously believe in Nigeria. We need to obviously believe that us as the young people are the future. We can build that. I've tried my best whilst I'm here to support young companies and try to kind of not necessarily provide money, because I know Mr. Investment Banker there has plenty of money. So if you want to check, talk to that guy at the end. But yeah, no, obviously thank you everyone for having me here. I will try to do my best to contribute. But again, I think ultimately, we are the future of Nigeria, and it's really important that we believe and we obviously keep on building. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Shola Akinlade. I'm the founder of Paystack. Paystack is a payments company, so we help businesses accept payments. I know there's so many businesses here, and so we're willing to help you accept payments. 2 years ago, Paystack was just an idea. It was really very early. It was an impossible idea because payments is so big. I stood no chance. I had no rich uncle. I had none of that. But today, we've made a lot of progress. We have over 4,000 merchants. We help them collect over 1.3 billion naira monthly. I have 23 people on the team, and we're just getting started. My journey was really, it's a journey of hope. I see a lot of businesses here. I see a lot of young people here. And as young people, we're just hustling, trying to make it work. I started Paystack. I went to Babcock University. After Babcock, I worked with Heineken. After that, I wrote a software called Precurio. I tried to push it for like 5 years. It wasn't working very well. I started doing things for banks. And then I thought, you know what, I can do payments. I can fix these payments. There's so many things that are not working. I can do it. I started talking to people in the ecosystem. We started working on Paystack. Luckily for me, I applied to Y Combinator. Y Combinator is a Silicon Valley accelerator. I got invited to San Francisco for an interview. They invited 500 people. They wanted to pick 100 of them, 100 of us. When I got in, I saw lots of companies too. The first person I saw, asked them what they were working on. They said they were working on a kind of shirt that never gets dirty. So they poured dirty water on the shirt. Nothing happened. I saw someone else, what are you working on? They said they were working on a kind of bra that detects breast cancer. And then they asked me, Shola, what are you working on? I said I was building a payments infrastructure for Africa. And they laughed, yes, like whoever is building the payments infrastructure for Africa must be bold, must be courageous. There's so much money, there's so much value moving in Africa. Someone has to figure that out. Thankfully, we got into Y Combinator. We got a credit alert, $120,000. We had to build a business. I called my parents that night, actually. I was like, thank God, blah, blah, blah. But I think that was the longest conversation I've ever had with my parents. Because as you know, this is very difficult. Last weekend, I had to put in 24 hours of work over the weekend. It's hard to, I think in the early stages of building your company, like, you have to do everything yourself. You have to think about your customers. You have to think about your current customers, prospective customers, your team. You have to build a culture. There's so much. You have to come to events to talk. I should be working now. So it's really very difficult. But I'm excited. I think there's a new generation of young people trying to solve these big problems. And I'm happy to be part of your generation or this generation. Thank you.
I feel so lucky to be moderating this panel. Can you guys feel the energy? It's going to be amazing. I was saying earlier on that I watched the series called The Men That Built America. And I don't know how many of you remember that the men that built America had to build infrastructure. They built train systems from the northern part of the US to the southern part of the US, not waiting for a government that was not working. And what I'm seeing on this stage are people who are doing exactly the same thing. So we've got to take the limitations off us. I would like to ask one question I'll throw the question to Jason. So Jason, what was the problem that you saw? I don't crack any jokes. Just answer the question. What was the problem that you saw, the infrastructure problem in terms of distribution? So I think about my own business, and I know that I had to build infrastructure. Tell me about that journey from taking that idea to what you call profitability, because without the distribution, there is no profit. So what was that problem that you saw that you felt you needed to solve?
So, you know, I'm not a serious person, so I've got to tell a joke. No, so I'm sitting in London. I'm like dead broke, living back with my mum at the age of 30. And, you know, I never really spent that much time with my mum. So, like, I saw that she was watching Nollywood content. And when I first watched Nollywood content, again, this is back in 2010, and it's progressed a lot since then. It looked like it was made of like a mobile phone, and everyone's really shouting. But she literally would spend like hours watching this. So, you know, I used to just, again, follow her around because I was doing nothing. And would go and she would try and buy these movies, and it was just like, you know these mom and pop stores in like, it's like, Nigerians in London are basically the same as Nigerians here. Like they're as local as the local can be. So you'll see a shop which will sell everything. So they'll sell rice, beans, like Indomie, movies, like recharge card, like everything. If you're on Facebook, you won't see that, but I can tell you as a Londoner, like, it's the same. So whenever I went sort of like shopping with my mum for Nigerian food, I saw that everyone was buying this content. It was buying like £5, £6, £7. So I kind of felt that, you know, as a child of the internet, that there must be an easier way for her to buy the content than just go and ask the woman which one's sweet. That was literally which one's sweet. That one, okay, fine. And those days, they didn't even have the description of the movie on the cover, and I thought, that's just crazy. But when I went to an aunt's house, they were watching Nollywood. I went to another aunt's house, they were watching Nollywood. So everyone, it was like this community of people, it was like hidden from me that were watching Nollywood. So I kind of felt that, let me go online and try and find if there's like an Amazon or an eBay of Nollywood content, and I just didn't see it. So, I had no money. I kept on going for like 6 months. I kept on going on and on and on to like my best friend. He was like, you know what? Just shut up. Here's some money. Jump on a plane. Go to Lagos and just figure out. Just go and do something. So I came to Lagos. I looked at the back of all of the movies, and it had like Alaba and Idiomota. So I put on my backpack and I just went to Alaba and started walking around. And I expected to see guys in sharp suits, pointy shoes, AC. I expect to see all of those things because, again, people are paying pounds and dollars for it in the UK. When I met Emeka, nah, man. So I was like, this person who literally could barely even speak English to me properly. So it's really strange. Sorry, I'm going to crack a joke. So have you ever had someone translate in English to you? So I say English. The person who's with me now speaks English to the person. And then the person speaks English back to them, and I was like, wow, these people don't understand me. So I had a translator for English language. So it was, I'm sorry you said no jokes. So, like, it was then I realized that there's like a massive disconnect, like an absolutely massive disconnect between like the miracles which were happening in Alaba and Idiomota and what the people were falling in love with in the West. And I just felt that no one had ever tried to connect those dots. So the essential kind of purpose of Iroko still today is to connect those dots. So our ambition is to take really great quality Nollywood, Nigerian-made content and just distribute it. And that essentially is what we've been doing back in 2010 till today. And I think just solving that problem, I think, is basically the reason why so many people like at least understand where we are.
So similar to Jason is Mrs. Opeke, Funke Opeke. Sorry, in Nigeria, we're not allowed to call them like that, but for the purpose of this, Funke, it's fine, okay. So when I was reading her story, I thought it was really, I don't know if you guys heard her say that they had submarine cables all the way from Portugal to Ghana and then to Lagos. And she was telling her mentor at the time that I would like to do this as a business. And his response to her was, these are the kinds of things that governments do, not private owners of businesses. She was able to convince him to do that. And for me, obviously, there's a gap with the internet and that not being available. But how did you even have the audacity? You came to Nigeria, you were brought in as an expatriate for MTN as Chief Technology Officer. Get a good salary, right? Close work at 7. Go home. Go with the Oyinbos on Saturday, on Sunday to the beach. But no, you decide that you want to build submarine cables under the water. Please, can she tell us where she had that temerity? Because I'm going to start a business called Funke Opeke Audacity in tablets.
Tara, I think you have 10,000 beauty reps across the continent. I think we should start House of Tara Audacity movement first. Well, you know, telecommunications was what I did professionally in the United States. And coming back to Nigeria, I think the opportunities around us and the opportunity to make an impact are really what inspires what we do as entrepreneurs, and that's what inspired me. When I came back with MTN after a career and being in the United States for almost 25 years, and really being a part of the early days of the internet revolution. And I talked about how telephone networks were being overwhelmed because traffic was doubling every month, and we had to keep upgrading switches and all the networks to be able to cope with the data traffic. And then I came back, and yes, we had mobile, and we started having networks with 10 million subscribers. But we still did not have access to the internet, and we really did not have the infrastructure to move that volume of traffic around the country. And I said, no country ever developed just running on mobile. I knew there was more fundamental infrastructure. And when you look at our schools, all the young people, we're such a young population, not having access to the internet. And the empowerment that comes from that. I'm really glad when you hear about all these businesses, Iroko, Paystack, that really taking some of those steps and leaps of faith enable us to build this internet ecosystem. So what enabled me was just, going out every day and seeing that we didn't have this infrastructure and people didn't have access to the internet. And I had come back to Nigeria wanting to make a difference. And from my professional expertise, I knew what it took technically to do that. Now, raising the money, I was very fortunate to have met some very wonderful people, even though they seemed a little bit intimidated when I said, let's go build a cable. I had met people like Mr. Fela-Durotoye, the founder of GTB, who said, I would help you. I saw what he had done in creating that kind of institution as monumental, so I didn't think it was too big to say, I think we should build a submarine cable, and it will make a difference to so many people in Africa. And that's still what motivates me. In the early days, raising money was so difficult, but I said, you know, every day you drive less than a mile in Lagos, and you'll see at least 100 idle young people. And after spending almost 25 years in the United States of my career and coming back home wanting to give back, it wasn't so daunting. What was daunting was the number of young people who, if you had 100,000 people, young people, and 10,000 people could get access to the internet and it could transform their lives, what a difference it would make. And so that's where the audacity comes from, the opportunity to make a difference that we see around us every day.
Thank you. So I don't know how many of you have watched Omoni's movies. I remember being at the premiere of Anchor Baby, and I walked out of the hall very upset, and I almost started crying because the movie was so real. But then walking out of the cinema hall and then seeing Omoni outside, because she was acting in the movie, like, you are here, nothing happened to you. It was incredible. And so since that time, she's become one of my favorite Nigerian actresses, and I watch every movie that she's ever produced. Every movie she's directed, I've watched, whether it's Okafor's Law or the likes. Now, one of the things that Omoni has done, which is with going back again to taking ideas to profitability, around shifting things around distribution, right? And not waiting for anyone to really do it for you. So Omoni was a fine actress, doing well, and then she decided, I want to go into film directing and script writing, film directing. But I realized that piracy is an issue. But guess what? The cinemas are full of American movies. The Nigerians want to watch foreign movies. But I will produce my movie, and yet again, I will have the audacity to take the movie to the cinemas, where Nigerians don't want to watch Nigerian movies in the cinemas. They want to buy the pirated copy, right, and watch. You decided to go to the cinemas, but you realized there was a problem, that Nigerians will not watch your movie in the cinemas. But you decided to do something that was disruptive. And today, that has become the trend. So let's talk about that and why that idea came to you. And not sitting down and just waiting for someone to distribute for you.
Okay, so Jason and I pretty much have the same problem. Nigerians don't want to pay for Nigerian content. Now, when I decided I was going to start making movies, so I was producing and directing, I knew I had a problem. So Nigerians will go to the cinema, they're very happy to pay 1,500, 2,000 to watch a Hollywood film. But say, watch a Nollywood film, they're like, how can I come and pay 1,500 for home video? I'm like, this is not home video now. This is a made-for-cinema Nigerian film. There's a difference. Home video, you can watch it in your house. This one is cinema. So what we started doing was we started something we now call a cinema tour. So I produce a movie, I put it in a cinema, I don't go home and sit down and say they will watch it, because I know they will not watch it. So I start going from one cinema to the other. Every single day, I wake up, I bath, I resume his office. I will go to my office every single day. And I'm standing by the box office, convincing my fellow Nigerians to watch my film. And, I was listening to the Shade Room lady when she was talking about don't be embarrassed, right? And I just started laughing. I'm like, this is me all over. Like, people would look you in the eyes and say, you're Omoni. Yes, I know you're in the film, but I can't watch it. Oh, gosh, Nigerian movie, God forbid. Like, people would literally say, Olorun maje, I cannot watch a Nigerian movie in the cinema. There are many times, when we first started, I'll be close to tears, because people can just be mean. Like, okay, you don't want to watch, just say you don't watch now. Must you insult me on top of it? But I kept at it. Like, I would be so discouraged. The next day, I would still wake up, bath, and go to my office. And, so we kept doing that. I produced my first film, Being Mrs. Elliot, and it did great. The next one, The First Lady, we did the same thing, cinema tour, going from one place to the other. It got better with every film. Now, I'm happy to say that it's almost 50-50 It's amazing. 50% of the cinema goers watch Hollywood films, and 50% watch Nollywood films. People would literally come to the cinema and say to the people at the box office, which Nigerian movie is showing? If you know where we're coming from, that is amazing. Coming from Olomaje, I will not watch a Nigerian film, to which Nigerian movie is showing. So this was something nobody was doing. In short, I got a lot of pushbacks from, I dare say, many of my colleagues that said it was demystifying stardom. Like, you going to the box office to sell tickets to people, you're demystifying stardom. You know, but I said to them, we're all enjoying that now. You guys make movies now that go to the cinema and people watch them. If I didn't demystify stardom, embarrass myself, disgrace myself, it won't happen the way it's happening now. You know, so that was something no one wanted to do. I mean, it's painful. Even I didn't want to do it. That's the truth. It was very painful doing it. But I said to myself, if we don't get to educate them on the need to watch Nigerian movies. So, I mean, I meet some people and I say, you know what? 100% of this your 1.5 is staying in Nigeria. But when you watch a Hollywood film, perhaps 5% of that money stays here. Everything goes right back to Hollywood. I said, so somehow or the other, your money comes back to you. And I'm preaching to you guys now as well. It's my job, that's what I do. So when you watch a Nollywood film, it means that me as the filmmaker, guess what? I can pay my children's school fees. Perhaps you own a school and my kids go to your school. It means, guess what? I can buy clothes from a Nigerian designer. Perhaps you make clothes. It means, guess what? I can buy my House of Tara makeup. So the money comes right back to you. Somehow or the other, right? Thank you.
So I'll go to Peter Ashade. And I know a little bit about your story, and from investment banking to being the registrar and then moving on to doing other things with technology. You've taken you've done a real, when you talk about blue ocean, where, yes, this is the sort of business I'm in a capital market business. But I've come to join this organization that's not making profits. But I'm not just going to sit down here, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And being an entrepreneur means I'm going to take some risks, I'm going to think out of the box, and I'm going to create some new markets that people didn't even think capital market could move to. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey in terms of especially using technology and being disruptive like everybody else?
Fine, thank you very much. Actually, it's a whole gamut of story. In 2006, you could just imagine taking up an organization that's been run for 30 years and totally in a loss position. You have a lot of issues on your hand. You have people issues. We have value issues. We have culture issues. Things we are not working. We have process issues, technology issues. You know, the question is, where do you start from? But because of the entrepreneurial, value system that I have, so we have to look at we need to move forward. The first thing is to look at how do we simplify the traditional way of doing our business. We were set up to be in investors' relations services business, purely capital market. But over time, I just felt, well, fine, let's deal with that. 5 years down the line, we have been able to conquer that. Building a company from 0 point, and 5 years down the line, we have built over 1,000% increase in terms of profitability. And in terms of automation, at least we've gained traction. So first thing we do was to change the way things are being run in our industry. We identified 3 key areas. We look at our people, we look at our processes. We identify technology as a very key issue. We fixed the people issue. We fixed the technology and the process issue. There was nothing like turnaround time and all that. We put all that in place. And before you knew what was going on, second year, first year to third year, we started moving a company that has not made profit before. And it started generating profit. And first year. We moved to second year, we increased in terms of our profitability. But we're not satisfied with that profitability because we have a very strong passion to transform Africa. So I continue to tell my team, there is more to it. We're not going to just stay at making profit doing the same business. There is need for us to turn this business around. We moved then, we were like number 8 in the industry as then. As I speak today, we are number 1 in the industry. In terms of innovation, we are number 1. In terms of profitability, we are number 1. And what we did was to look at things. We conquered the market, coming up with technology idea, to do our things differently and be able to close up there. And down the line, when we discovered that we are getting traction as far as the market is concerned, we felt, hey, we need to move forward. And then here comes Blue Ocean Strategy. The question is that we need to do it differently. Because one thing is sure, we cannot do it the same way and achieve different results. You're going to see it the same way. So I told my team, we need to look at out of the normal business that we do. We should not be, we are making profit, no doubt, but we should, turn our passion to a story. And that was how we move into having a solution that is now meeting the needs of the cooperative community. As you were in different countries that's been represented here, you have cooperative societies in different countries. And when you look at the rudimentary of growth of African continent, cooperative society cannot be dissected out of it. Why? Because that is the, when we talk of the rural point of each country. So what we did was to look at how is cooperative set up? How do they run? And what can we do to improve the way they do things? And lo and behold, we find ourselves coming up with a solution, a cooperative manager that run all the operation of cooperative societies in such a way that you can, as a cooperative member, that creates a lot of transparency and a lot of, accountability into the operation of a cooperative. And one thing we got to know, because for 2.5 years, we are doing data gathering. And in the data gathering, you see the massive gamut of data that we're able to guide how cooperative society can really impact Africa. However, the porosity of technology to run efficiently these processes is keeping them at bay. So what we did was to move along with them. As I speak today, within 1.5 years of rollout of the solution, we have been appointed a consultant developer for ICA Africa. ICA Africa is the International Cooperative Alliance that coordinates the 54 African countries' cooperative societies. And what we're trying to do is to look at how we can work with these countries to improve in terms of utilization of technology to run the process of the cooperative society to generate a lot of traction in that area. So for us, it's very key, and it's been a success story down the line. 1.5 years down the line that we developed that has increased our fortune in terms of profitability, and that has added a lot in terms of size and the big pie. And again, what's smoothing our heart is that our strong passion to impact on Africa is coming to life. Thank you
very much. So in closing, I'd like to ask my dear friend Shola, who's built a payment platform that obviously can work on multiple ways, not just through cards, but transfers and the likes. It now has massive clients. What do you think your decision to take your idea into a business, what do you think is the impact of that for the African continent?
Okay, so cool. Two or three things around that. The first thing is, I think, generally we just need success stories. A lot of us, we look up to people like Mark Zuckerberg and all those people, and thankfully Jason, actually. So I think the more courageous people we have, the more people that can take their ideas and become successful, the more people will go for it. So the first one is just trying to just push and being a success story. The second one is that our problems, we have big problems. In a lot of industries, we wait for others to come solve it for us. I looked at payments. I saw that there were so many things that could happen in America that was not happening in Nigeria. There was no recurring billing. There was no card on file. You know how you sign up on PayPal and you have an account immediately, you can receive money immediately. It didn't exist in Nigeria. So I thought about it, like, are we going to wait for PayPal to come? Are we going to wait for Stripe or all these companies to come? Or are we going to build it ourselves? And for me, that was the opportunity. We can't wait. We've lost the industrial revolution. Like, we can't build a plane again, even if we want to try. Nobody will enter it, you know? So we won't. But we have the same laptop. I use the newest MacBook. We have the same internet, thanks to, you know, there's an opportunity in technology to solve these problems ourselves, you know? So for me, I think going into payments and just creating this is an opportunity to also just inspire a new generation of businesses. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shola. So at the end of the day, you're hearing a lot of talk about the continent, from Peter about the continent, from Omoni about changing the space for movies and how to ensure that people get Nigerian movies or African movies get acceptability. You're talking about a woman who decided I wasn't going to wait for government to build infrastructure. I will build a submarine cable from Portugal to Ghana, and then I will not sit and wait for my mom to buy the CD from the Pop and Mom shop. I will create a subscription system that ensures that people can get movies. So what you're seeing on this stage is people who have decided to make an impact on the continent. As you go out as African entrepreneurs, I want you to have it behind your mind that doing good business is great, but you can do better by impacting your world. That is what Tony Elumelu is doing with this foundation. And I want every one of us to say to ourselves, as we go, we must also do the same by paying it forward. Thank you very much.
La Pasión. Everybody put your hands together one more time. Presenting a distinctive slice of Africa, Africapitalism, and Africapitalpreneurs. Please put your hands together. Please could you stand up, come to the front. Everybody, let's get a group picture with all of them. I'm sure that paparazzi would love to do that. And even as they do that, you know, take a good look, like I said, at you. Because what you heard and what you now see is who very soon you will be. And every one of you here is the personification of this CEO brand. C for courage, E for excellence, and the O is for the original Obrokoto factor that is in you. All right? So put your hands together once again. Thank you very much. We would like to please request, you heard it said, thank you very much, Tara, thank you everybody. We'd like to hear it said, you've heard it said, it's the stories, the success stories that we need. We need our own. And the stories begin with your success story here today. What happened? What changed? Hashtag TEF. Tell your story using your social media platform right now. I need us to get the platforms buzzing, busy, active, and live with your own personal experience walking into this interaction, into this conference today. Use your own social media platform, whatever it is, right now. Everybody take a picture, do something, make something happen right now, in this moment. Let things begin to buzz. Say something, one thing that you heard. Get it out there. Get it out there. That's all we're asking you to do. Send something out right now. We need your story. Something changed for me right now. Tell someone. And even as you do that, remember, You got a whole world waiting to celebrate you and what you do. We're about to take what we call the pitch. There is a pitch competition coming up right now. And I know for a lot of you, you're re-articulating what your content, your purpose, and your own direct impact is going to be going out from this conference, going out from this forum into your own industry marketplace. But right now, I'm going to be inviting for the open pitch competition. Each one of these contestants, 1 minute only. Jide Ikpae, Oyebukola Oyeyemi, Joy Shokumbi Ebor, Ifedayo Durosimieti, and Patrick Acho to please get ready. We also have a team so that everyone here is going to be part of the public domain that's going to make a decision for who's walking out of here with the best overall pitch, performing trophy, and result. Now I'm going to ask you, please, once again, this forum, this conference, this summit is bilingual. There are bilingual devices that have been handed out to everyone who needs one. So if you don't have one, please get one. We need you to be part of this competition, this open pitch competition right now. And we have prepared an audience response keypad user. It's a device. And right now, if you look into the rows, everyone wearing white t-shirts, we're going to be handing them out to everyone. Everyone is going to own, I should have gotten one of those devices. One of those devices should come into your hand. Do you have one with you now? You don't? There it is. That's what it looks like. Please, could we pass them round? Begin to hand them out. If you don't have one, everyone get one. Now, it's very simple how to turn your device on. Press any key to turn on your device. And once you press it on, you should have a display that says online. First, do you have your device? Everyone? Could you please show it to me? Hey, you're looking good. I wish you could give me some light. All right, now, any key, and it should have online. Are you online? If you're not online, say I'm not online. I said, say you're not online. So, are you online? Thank you very much. 100%. Excellent. Next, for you to vote, we're going to have a keypad test, right? You will look at your setting, all right? And you press, am I correct, to receive? So you get receive simulate. We do that again. One more time. I'm trying to speak the English we all understand. Oh, my understanding is there is a PowerPoint that is supposed to run now. I wasn't given that instruction. So what am I supposed to do now? Maybe I'm not. You should just press again. You should just press another key and any other key, right? What this says now, when you press it and start to keep on display, receive stimulate. Yes, exactly. So when you press it again, we should have a keypad display that says receive simulate. All right. It's online. Okay, since it's online. So next, depending on how you're going to rate the contestant, either excellent, good, average, or poor, there are 3 classifications of your vote rate for any one of these contestants: excellent, good, average, poor. And if it's for excellence, it's 1A. 1A. If it's good, it's 2B. If it's average, it's 3. And if it's poor, it's 4. All right. So depending on who it is and how you rate their own delivery of the pitch, you are to put in any one of those 4 choices of your assessment. Press OK once you have done that. So if it's 1A, you go to OK. OK is green. If you don't press OK, it's not OK. Make sure you pressed OK for that which you have voted to be OK. All right, we got that. So that's OK, KK. Now, any of the options without pressing OK is invalid. It's not working. Thank you. Are we ready? Yes? On your marks, get ready. I'm calling up our very first contestant for pitch number 1. 1 minute is what you have. Who's my timekeeper? Okay, there it is right in front of you. Put your hands together, everyone, some energy in the room, and receive Jide Ikpae. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's how they do it to you when it's time for your pitch. You better start celebrating Jide. Jide, you have 1 minute. Starting. You need to put it up. Please, Jide, you have 1 minute. This is the elevator pitch. 1. Are we ready? Okay, we should let him put it up. See. Please, very quickly. Ladies, do you know this is a pitch for Mr. Jide? All right, you know what, Jide? You're on. That's it now.
I'm a shoe size 48, and I struggled to find the right fit, so I decided to learn how to make shoes. Nigeria has an estimated population of 180 million citizens, with about 62% below the poverty line and 14% unemployment rate. The global footwear market is estimated to reach $430 billion by 2024. Our company, Kicks, currently produces sneakers, and at full establishment will create thousands of jobs and give back 10% to poverty alleviation projects. Kicks started with a global crowdfunding campaign which raised $20,000 in 40 days. We currently distribute via 20 retailers across 3 continents and globally via Kicks.com. Kicks has received several awards and grants, inclusive of the Elumelu Entrepreneurship Foundation program. We have also been featured on several fashion and trade events across 2 continents and globally on CNN African Voices. My name is Jide Ikpae, co-founder and CEO of Kicks, and we are looking to raise $5 million to ramp up our distribution and global brand acceptance. Thank you very much. Chop Noko.
All right, Niger-born world-class crew. Let's see how hot he gets on the results. Remember, whatever you clicked on there, put OK. Oye Bukola, Oye Yemi. Okay, just a moment. Please, once you've done your pitch. Thank you. Pardon? Yes. Straight away. Immediately finish. Please. You vote immediately. Vote. 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 Have you voted? You are not online? You didn't get how to vote? All right. Excellent, good, average, poor. Excellent is 1A. Good is 2B. average is 3C, and poor is 4D. You press it and OK it. Then it's okay. Have you done that now? It's telling you to vote again. Maybe it's for the next one. They said, no, done. All done. Okay. Oyebukola, Oyeyemi. All right, come on, everyone. Let's receive Oyebukola very quickly. You have 1 minute. Please, could we have the timers up so that she's with me and starting now?
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Oyeyemi Oyebukola, founder of Oyecube Farms. It's December, so there's a party in my house, and we need snails. And it's so expensive, and it's expensive and not available. So the idea for Oyecube Farms started, and we came up with a unique selling point of making snail meat readily available all year round on other. And to solve, and then we also found several other problems, like I mentioned, unavailability of snails at a particular period of time in the year. Also that by research, I found out that snails are getting extinct in the wild because of excessive poaching. So we came up with an idea of making the snails available, and then presently we have retail packs that you can readily buy off meat stores, walk into stores around you, your cold room in your area, you know, stuff like that. And so presently, we are looking for investments to cut down our production time by at least 90% so we can reach more people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, she wants to reach more people. You have right now an opportunity to help Oyebukola, Oyeyemi. Have you put it in there? And press OK. Done. We're ready for open pitch competitor number 3, Joy Shokumbi Ebor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joy Shokumbi Ebor, CEO Griffith Forbes Events Management. We specialize in providing professional planning and management services to corporate, political, and social events across Africa. There is a stereotypical ideology behind the word training in relations to the events industry, which places events management training completely off any standard of educational hierarchy. We provide events management training services to passionate individuals with the aspiration of being educationally grounded in the various aspects of the events industry. In the nearest future, we intend to raise funds to get proper infrastructures to have a globally competitive events business institute, thus giving a new ideology to events management education as against conventional courses of study in Africa. In conclusion, our promise: endless creativity, matchless ideas.
Endless creativity, matchless ideas, Joy Shokumbi Ebor. And we need your votes in right now. 1A, 2B, 3C, or 4D. Okay, we're still waiting for it to come up. I've been told you have like a minute, so, to vote. Is it up? It's up now. It's up now. Are we done? Have we all voted? No? At least vote. Exercise your voters' right. Thank you. For our 4th competitor, Fela-Durotoye Eti. Come on, clap, celebrate, and welcome. No, we can't. Let her get to the mic, please, before we start. Okay, then. Fela-Durotoye, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go.
Good afternoon, everyone. In 2004, Nigeria placed a ban on the importation of furniture, and people focused on locally producing office furniture and home furniture. So I realized that there was a gap in the children's furniture when I had my first child. My name is Fela-Durotoye. I'm the co-founder of Palamu Bambini, a kids furniture company who provides safe, affordable, and stylish furniture for children across Nigeria. Since we started in 2015, we've been able to we've produced over 1,000 baby furniture, and this has directly impacted the lives of over 100 artisans across the country. We have successfully been able to reduce the unemployment rate in Nigeria and also reduce the poverty rate in the country. Currently, we need your funding to be able to expand our factory space so that we can meet up with the huge demand in the country for children's furniture. We hope we've been able to convince you to invest in us. Thank you very much.
Time's up. She didn't say how much. However, you have an opportunity to vote and rate. Are you ready? Please vote. One more competitor. We're still voting? Okay. Patrick Acho.
Okay, there's an issue of brand identity for Juliet, who owns a startup. There's also an issue of reduced cost to achieving brand visibility for Farida, who runs a medium enterprise. Now, ADPKG Consulting is a strategy and brand services outfit, and our services span across industry with brand issues that get across the way of competitive advantage and profitability growth. Now, we believe our customers' brand and their reputation and it should be in the service of helping them achieve their strategic and financial goals. Therefore, we are in business, seriously, to refresh brands for better communication, and we help our customers reach new markets. We bridge the gap between internal and external perception of businesses, and we render competitive positioning for our customers. See, in summary, we build stronger brands for our clients. So we need $50,000 to achieving this.
Thank you very much. In summary, I need you to put your own rating right now in there, okay? So okay, are we done? Thank you. And what's the conclusion? How do I now get
the way it's structured is that Tara will talk around it.
Okay.
So why the result is just
all right then. I'd like you please to put your hands together and just appreciate all 5 of these contestants. Stand up, every one of you, and take a bow. Take a bow. That took a lot of courage and intentional will to do. I didn't say go back to your seats, just, like take a bow. Thank you. You may be seated. Enterprise communication is my business, so I understand where it's coming from. Many times you come out, you want to say it in a particular way. You may stutter, you may be embarrassed, but get it out anyway. Learn to do your pitch with your mirror. Learn to do your pitch when you're taking a walk by yourself. All right? My name is Okpelenge Nango. I need $100,000 from you. I'm about to create ice slices because ice cubes are outdated. Right now, I'm looking at how to get rice to the moon, and I need you to help me get it there. Now, you don't even know what I'm saying, but you are shouting. Do you understand what I'm saying? You shock yourself and you shock everybody. My name is Okbelengenako. I need $100,000 from you. But it begins with $1 because I can slice your ice for you. Think of it. Ice is hot when it's sliced, not cubed. Hello? Use your space. I didn't walk in with your paper. I've got it all on paper, but I need it in the bank. You need some more information, I'll give it to you. But right now, I need your money, and I have only 1 minute. This thing, Tara made it up. I'm making it up too. I'll submerge every kind of cable just to get to you. Hello? Hello? Don't go the functional way. Didn't you hear disruptive matter? Be dysfunctional. But get your message out there. Package your market. Are you ready for my pitch? Are you sure? To be continued. Right now, over to Tara. Thank you. You see how ready you were to go? That's what you do. You fight. You get in there. Just, go for it. Go. Go. We'd like to celebrate and welcome CEO of TEF. Come on, everybody. Put your hands together for Pamindavi. I was told to invite you for a pitch. No, I wasn't, but let's have her come up because she looked at me like, what's it about? I was directed. But it's like I was directed to do something that she wasn't instructed about. So what do you do when you're standing in a place where you've already invited someone who's not been given an instruction? You do it with your swag now. Celebrate. And I was told I need you. I was told I need you to look better.
You said that again? You look better. And please don't disrupt this mic. Because it's very finely tuned. What am I supposed to be doing? I was quite enjoying the pictures, actually, and listening to these amazing speakers. And my God, this woman. Okay, book her. Book her. Actually, come back. Oh, and she's going to run one of our webinars. How to pitch. Rap style. So please, the CEO usually knows what she's doing, but I don't know what I'm doing here. Call. Yes, please come. Why? I think very shortly you will all be on the stage, actually. But come on, Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurs, 2015, 2016, 2017. You remember one of the modules? Yeah, the key modules is how to write an elevator pitch. So one thing is writing the elevator pitch. The other thing is then making it part of your being. So when you walk anywhere, imagine bumping into Jason. He's a multimillionaire, by the way. Yeah, don't believe his story, right? This guy's raised more capital than anyone else I know selling in Hollywood, yeah? So anyway, imagine you running into him in a coffee shop. He's got 30 seconds in which for you to be able to convince him that he should give you another 3 minutes because what came out of your mouth in the first 30 seconds was so compelling that he stopped to listen. And that is one of our key modules in our program, right? Yeah? And it's not, you're not going to go there and say, I need $100 million, or I need this. Is tell the story about your business. There was one entrepreneur who pitched just now who really used the storytelling approach. You notice you'll never forget Oroko and the story that Jason told about how he ended up setting up Oroko, right? I will now always remember his mother in Dalston Market buying those CDs, yeah? I just want to say to you, Jason, that I was working at Carlton Television, and our security guard was a Nigerian. And every night as I left the company, I would hear him watching something on television. And I would say, but it doesn't sound like Carlton product. It doesn't sound like the content that we are producing in ITV. And then one day I stopped and I said, what are you watching? He said, Nollywood. And that was in 2003. So Nollywood was big. And I said, where do you get them from? He said, I buy them in Dalston. So I took a train to Dalston, just as I used to take I used to drive to Southall to buy those CDs of Bollywood movies in the 80s and 90s. And then they suddenly disappeared. And there, in the mom and pop shops, was this wall-to-ceiling Nollywood movies. And I bought my first set of Nollywood movies in 2003. So, you know, so the industry, I don't know, I mean, obviously it was bootlegged Nollywood films. And what Jason and what obviously Harmony are trying to do was to get rid of the piracy and bring in a structure where they would be able to benefit from the, you know, from the fruits of their products and services, which is what all of you are going to be able to do. But I'm sure I wasn't invited here to do this. So please come forward. Do you know what you were invited here to do?
Yeah, I'm there to pitch.
Oh, you're here to pitch?
Yeah, I'm there to talk about my startup. I want to start, I'm from Cameroon. I'm from the Francophone side, so excuse my English.
So pitching French.
Pitching French. You want me to speak in French?
Yeah, that will really throw them, then you'll win. No, you have to pitch in English. Oh, French.
French?
Yeah.
French or English? But who will translate?
There's a translator. Hello.
Ok, alors je vais parler en français. Alors, je m'appelle Jean-Philippe Veigne, je viens du Cameroun. Et depuis ce matin, on parle de l'Afrique-capitalisme. Je pense que pour pouvoir développer l'Afrique-capitalisme, il faut faire en sorte que les entreprises nigériennes, camerounaises, kenyanes puissent échanger les produits entre elles. Et c'est ça qu'on fait en fait avec notre start-up. Alors ma start-up, elle s'appelle BMEET, BMEET.co. Et c'est une plateforme B2B qui permet aux PME, aux TPE d'échanger les produits et services entre elles. I will continue in English. So I'm saying that my startup is a B2B platform, and we want to interconnect all SMEs and companies. So if you want to sell Nigerian products to Central Africa, you just come in my website, you register your product and services, and you will find a way to sell your product in Cameroon. Thank you. The website is www.bmeet.co. Yeah. Right now it is free, but we will start to pay the next year because we are just starting. Right now we have 160 companies, and after one month, no, cut. Okay. Thank you.
So do you want me to tell them the results already? Okay, apparently the results are ready, so can we project them, please? What, another pitch? No. Apparently the results are ready. Owen is keeping us to the schedule. It's 7 o'clock. No. You know what you can all do while you're here? The results are here. Can we see them? Where are they? Oh, we can see them.
Even though they are 28.
Yeah, no, come stay with me, okay, come, because I don't know what. Okay, so you all know who the winner is. Where is Ifedayo? Yes! That was an amazing pitch. Wow. Do you want to say anything? Just quickly, huh?
I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody here. I can't even believe it. My co-founder is there, Olamide Olawutobosun. Shola girl. And Niger Startup CEO. Thank you so much for practicing my elevator pitch with me. I love you. Thank you so much. Niger Branchik, thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, okay.
We'd like to thank first and foremost Africa Prudential PLC for providing the devices that actually gave Ifedayo the victory tonight. Congratulations. Already Nigerians are investing in your furniture company. We'd like to thank you all. Also, we thank the panel. This panel has been amazing. Can we put our hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen? And so the COO is here, Owen Omajefo. This woman stepping forward here. We actually 3 people, she and the twins, and they're here.
Talk about an announcement. Good evening, everyone. I'm sure we are all excited. It's been a very great session, right? Has it been great? Show me your pitch by your applause for the team. How did you learn how to pitch? Is that what you learned? Louder, 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 louder. Okay, so today has been fantastic, right? Let's see, how fantastic has it been? Can we get a buzzer? Well done, well done. So tomorrow is also going to be, dynamic. Do you know who we're having tomorrow? Who are we having tomorrow? Who is coming tomorrow? Say it again. The Lion King. What's his name? So he'll be here tomorrow and other people as well. It's going to be very dynamic. So we're starting. Please, I'd like you to pay attention now. Very, very important. We've all been fantastic today. We need to even be more fantastic tomorrow. So for those who are residential, please note that breakfast will be served between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Okay? 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Everybody has to be in this hall by 7:45 a.m. maximum, because we are going to shut the doors because of the people that are coming in here tomorrow. Do you understand? We are going to shut the doors because at a point in time there will be no more inflow into the room. I do apologize, but it's just the caliber of people who have come to honor you and share their time with you. So please, 7:45 a.m., we will shut the doors and no more entrance. So go over again, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., breakfast. Yeah? Doors will shut here at 7:45. So please, where should you be before 7:45? You've come this far, so let's just take it to the end. Now, for this evening, we have the National Dress Dinner. Did you come with your outfits? Yeah. Who wants to see an Edo princess? Benin princess, who wants to see one? look out for me this evening. I'll be dressed like an Edo princess, going back to my roots this evening. So we have some really nice food for those who are hungry like me. We have a taste of North Africa. We're going to have a taste of South Africa, a taste of East Africa, and a taste of West Africa. So see you there. So good evening, and catch you in the next 20 minutes at the marquee. One more thing, please remember to take your headshots. Make sure you get your headshots taken. It's in the cafeteria. So do it between today, tomorrow. The photographers are there. Your professional shots, they are very, very important so that we have it in our database. Thank you.